Hello, everyone. This is Jamie White back with another Supplier Diversity and Small Business Economic Report. This is episode 25, and today I will be discussing the top news stories that small businesses need to know when it pertains to the economy on a domestic, so American, and global scale. As always, if you like what we do here, please like, subscribe, comment on the video, and share with everyone you think this information would be. Uh, this information would help them when it comes to understanding what's going on with with uh, diverse, small and diverse businesses. Okay, geez, that took way longer than I thought it would. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the first news of the day, which is the biggest one. So today, the Federal Reserve, came out and essentially said that the U.S. economy for 2018 ended pretty good, except for they saw a slowing or weakening growth towards the second half of the year. So, um, right now, the projection is that America for 2018 is going to come in just under 3% due to the fourth quarter projections. Now, I do want to point out that next week, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, they're going to come out with the GDP percentage that for fourth quarter of 2018. So once we have that information, we'll be able to see exactly where we came out to for the year. Now, currently we're seeing estimates from as low as 1.4% for fourth quarter to as high as 2.5%. So we're seeing a wide range here. So I think uh, uh, right now, there's really no consensus on what happened in the fourth quarter. But again, we'll find that out next week, which is good. Um, Now, just under 2%, I mean, just under 3%, that is actually really big. So, when we halfway through last year, people were saying that 3% was a given. I mean, we may even be as high as the high 3%. So to see us fall and only hit under that 3%, I mean, that is a big drop, and we have to look back at that fourth quarter and figure out exactly what happened. From what I understand, um, retail sales or spending when it comes to consumers was down more so than people estimated. As well as the government shutdown did have a part, but it was so late in the year it shouldn't have had as drastic of an effect as as dropping us down to below 3%. I mean, remember in the second quarter we had as high as 4.1%. That was right when the tax cuts went through or were just really ramping up for corporations. It was a time when tariffs had just hit, so everybody basically was purchasing things before the tariffs went live, if you will, or yeah, or went live. So because of that, we had the huge jump in the second quarter. Now the a lot of economists were saying that this was just a temporary boost, and what we're seeing now, especially when we get these numbers back in the fourth quarter, is that that may have been true, which means that if that's the case, we are going to see a much smaller growth for 2019. Um, so I mean, pretty much this article pretty much goes through everything that I said. Um, Chairman Jerome Powell, he will be testifying about the report Tuesday or Wednesday, and then on Thursday, I believe that's when they're going to come out and discuss the uh, actual fourth quarter GDP growth rate. So um, pretty much just stay tuned. Obviously, we're going to be covering that next week, so that's going to be really big, and that's really going to impact what happens in the estimates for the first quarter. So once again, this is pretty interesting news, kind of a pre-news, if you will, but something that we definitely need to consider moving forward. Um, so as you can see, as Trump economy slows, new data shows lagging business confidence. Pretty much what this again is more so with the last article, but basically, uh, because the fourth quarter People are estimating that it was a drop in growth. What they're doing is, in order to create the estimates for the first quarter of 2019, they're taking business confidence surveys and trying to figure out, based on what companies are saying, how much they're going to invest in their business, if they're going to or if they're going to really, hire, if they're expecting more revenues this year, if they're going to hire more people, etc. Uh, they're essentially taking that and kind of trying to make these estimates off of that. So business confidence is down versus last year. So because of that, what they're saying is, obviously, if last year we end up with 2.8% GDP growth and business confidence was at, 100 as an example, business confidence right now is at 80. We should probably expect something less because that means less investing in business, less hiring, because people are expecting less sales. So that's pretty much what this kind of breaks down and goes to. In addition, one of the things that's holding people back, and we're going to get into more in depth in a second, is the whole China deal. It's been continuing this whole U.S.-China trade negotiations, and again, we'll get to that a little later. But people are worried, kind of trying to figure out what's happening there, just because that partnership, or it needs to be a partnership at least, is very very instrumental on a global scale in terms of how that's going to affect the American and the global economy and the Chinese kind of economy, obviously. Now, next up, JP Morgan economists now see the economy growing at just 1.5% pace this quarter. So JP Morgan is, I do want to start off and just say that JP Morgan, it appears to be on the lower end of the estimates. As you can see, this is what I was talking about with the fourth quarter. The economists from JP Morgan had expected fourth quarter growth at 1.6%, but revised it lower to 1.4% after Thursday release of December durable goods order. Basically, the durable goods, it was released by the Federal Reserve of, which Federal Reserve released that? They're on the East Coast, Philadelphia. And basically, they just came out and they said that, like manufacturing, their durable goods. Actually, it's in one of the articles. I believe it is in this one. If I can't find it too quick, that's fine. But basically, give me a quick second. Here it is, Federal Bank Reserve of Philadelphia. Yep. So they released their report, and where is durable goods? Durable goods. Here it is. So Thursday, that news. So the U.S. Census report on Thursday. That news for manufactured durable goods. Long-lasting increase by 1.2% in December. The reading was below economists' average forecast for 1.7%. So as you can see, the reason why they dropped from 1.6 to 1.4% here, 1.6 to 1.4%, is because they thought that durable goods was going to increase by 1.7%, but instead it only increased to 1.2%. So because of that drop there, they dropped it for the GDP estimate. Now, although JP Morgan believes that is going to be 1.4% top down to the bottom, Citigroup estimates, meanwhile, they're maintaining that there's going to be a 2.5% growth for the fourth quarter. So, that's where I got the range of 1.4 to 2.5%. But essentially, the key here is that people are still estimating that that first quarter is going to be somewhere between 1.5 and 2%. So it is drastically lower for that first quarter. So things to be aware of as you're moving forward. One of the big things that I, constantly pushed last year was, if you're going for a business loan, now is the time. So I really hope that, you were able to take advantage of that. With that being said, the Federal Reserve have now looked at the growth of the economy from last year, and it does appear as if, I think they were wanted to make 2 or 3 rate hikes this year. But it now appears as if they are backing off of that slowly. So we'll see if there's any developments on that front. But uh, you may be okay in that regard, which is good. Again, if you're going for a business loan in particular, or for anything from buying a building or just just a business loan to pay employees. All right. Next up, U.S. China resumed talks on thorniest issues and trade war. The thorniest issue, obviously, is the tariffs. Well, 2 things: tariffs for America, and then the intellectual property rights for China. If you're not familiar, basically, in order to do business in China, they can basically use your intellectual property rights which a lot of people have problems with because with Chinese companies being able to use that, they can just copy the whatever technology it is and make money off of that in China as well as sell it throughout the globe, which is ridiculous. So basically, these are just the hard points that they're negotiating on. And right now, on those two pieces, they have not had anything close to an agreement on that. So those are still up in the air. But it does seem as if progress is being made, and that's pretty much all you're getting from this article. But there's still optimism around it. All right. So as you can see, the Dow Jones for at least Friday today, Friday, February 22nd, it's above 26,000 just because people believe that there is progress being made. In addition, currently there's supposed to be new tariffs that are going to hit March 1st, which President Trump has said that if trade negotiations go well, he's willing to extend it. There has been no indication on if he's going to extend it or not. The only thing we know is that they are still negotiating, and it appears that progress is being made, although not to the although not although the progress has not hit with the big pieces, which is like the intellectual property and the tariffs. Okay, so next up, let's see how much time do I have here. Okay, one of the longer ones. That's fine. So next up, we have Black entrepreneurs win 50,000 in 2019 for the FedEx Small Business Grant Contest. Just an FYI, if you are an African American entrepreneur looking for to participate in some type of grant or anything, check out the FedEx Small Business Grant. Um, the last date to enter is March 25th, but as you can see, in order to qualify, write a story of the business, gather photos of your and your logo, excuse me, create a short video, and then you can have people vote so that you can become a finalist and hopefully win. And as you can see, some of the grand prizes here: 50,000 for the grand prize, silver prize is 30,000 plus additional um, monies as well, and then the bronze prize, which is 8 winners, so 10 winners in all. So if you're interested in finding out more, definitely check this out. Again, it's FedEx Small Business Grant. And then lastly, which I think is pretty interesting, SupplierDiversity TV. Now, excuse me, as you know, when it comes to just this YouTube and the news outlet that we have, SupplierTNews.com, one of the things that we're constantly trying to do is get more information out there as it pertains to supplier diversity and small business. So it appears as if there's a new Supplier Diversity TV, which is a 12 episode. Where is it? Click on. Give me a second. Yep, here it is. Project, the 12 episode series, intends to educate other diverse suppliers and supplier diversity leaders to help them navigate the supplier diversity space together. Um, so definitely check this out. It launches March 1st. Supplier Diversity TV, excuse me. So yeah, I think that that's excellent. I think that's something that we we need in the industry is various not even various, multiple um, sites and channels educating more and more people on supplier diversity because there are opportunities out there if you know where to look. So providing these type of educational content, I think is really beneficial for everyone. And I don't think that this space is a is something that we're only one news outlet or two news outlets can play. I think that there's just something that a ton of outlets can come into and really benefit this industry as a whole. So definitely check this out again, SupplierDiversity.tv. And with that being said, that's pretty much it for this week, episode 25. As always, appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody checking out the video to learn more about small business and supplier diversity and kind of what's going on for the economy as a whole and what you need to be aware of moving forward. So that being said, as always, like, subscribe, comment on the video, and share with your friends. Thank you so much, and have a great day.